In this video, I'll show you how to light a film noir scene using Speedlights. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers, and today you join me back in my small home studio for a film noir themed shoot. Now I did something similar a while back where we just used the Venetian blind. Check out the Adorama Learning Centre to see that one. In this case, however, I've got a much bigger set because we've got an entire private detective's office. We filled it full of props from the house or things we borrowed from friends, but it's not just the props that have changed. I'm also going to use different lighting because this time we're going to light absolutely everything using nothing more than just Speedlights. We will need a few of these though. We also need someone to sit here, and normally I'd use a model, but for this to really work, we need an actor, someone who can play the part. So let's get an actor in, let's get some lights set, let's get shooting. So to help me out today, I've got Liam. Liam's going to be the model stroke private detective, and this is his office. To light the scene, I'm going to use multiple Speedlights, which means it can get quite complicated. So to make life easier, I'm going to build the shot up one light at a time. And the first light is round the back. We've got a Speedlight here in front of the Venetian blinds, and this is just going to put light on the background. Now the Speedlight is zoomed in to its maximum zoom. Let's take a shot like this and see how it looks. As you can see, we've got those streaks of light coming through the Venetian blinds, and that's okay, but it is very sharp and very defined. What I'd like is just a slightly softer look to the light in the background, and I can do that really easily just by getting the Speedlight and moving it a little bit closer. Let's try that. And you can see the difference is quite remarkable, and for me that looks better in this shot. So the second light is going to go in behind Liam. I'm going to put it nice and high. It's on a boom arm, so the stand's out of shot and the light is just out of shot as well. It's on a nice wide angle for the Speedlight, so that should give a lovely flood of light in this direction, and it'll do two jobs. Have a look at this. So that light adds a bit of separation onto Liam's shoulders and on his hat, and the second job it'll do, well, it'll backlight the smoke when we add that later. So far we've got all the light coming in this direction, which means Liam's face is in shadow. Well, that's where the third light comes in. This is going to be specifically just for lighting Liam's face. So I've got this zoomed in because it needs to be a fairly tight area of light. I don't want the light spilling around and messing up the shot too much, and it's in reasonably close for the same reason. So it's on its lowest possible power setting. Let's have a look at this. So it lights Liam's face just fine, but behind it is a fairly obvious shadow, and the spread of light is still a little bit too wide for my personal taste. Dealing with the shadow is relatively easy. If I move the light around, the shadow will move in the opposite direction and go out of shot. However, making the beam of light smaller is a bit more challenging. It's already on its maximum zoom. I can't put it closer because it would be in the shot. So the solution is this, which is my MagMod Snoot. I'm going to use this just to tighten up the beam of light, and it just sticks on the front of the flash like that. Now, it will take away some of the power, so I might need to adjust this, and I'm going to do that by trial and error. Let's take a shot. That works really well. It puts some light on Liam's face, but as the shoot progresses, I'll need to watch where it goes because it is a tight beam of light, and it's possible Liam could move out of it. The last light I'm going to use is an optional light, and I only need it because I want to simulate the look of this desk light being on. It's called motivated light. So I'm going to add in the fourth Speedlight just down here, just out of shot, and it's going to light this area of the desk, and let's see how that looks. That all comes together really well, but it is worth remembering these will become black and white pictures, and I'll show you how to do that once we've done the shoot. Liam the detective, having a hard day in the office. Yeah, you can actually talk, it's okay. You can blah 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 blah. Okay, you can get a little angry on the phone as well. Okay, yeah, and then the person's over there, the angry person you want to shout to. We've got some good shots in there. We need some smoke in the room. Give me a little bit of smoke in behind, Sam. Liam did a fantastic job acting the part, but there's some things I can't do with the look and the lighting that I really need Photoshop's help. Let's have a look. So this is a picture I want to edit, and because it's a film noir, the obvious thing to do is to take away the colour and make this black and white. Now I can do that really easily by taking the saturation here in Adobe Camera Raw in Photoshop down to -100, or because I'm in the newest version of Photoshop, Camera Raw, I can just come up to the black and white button and click that. It does pretty much the same thing in this case. Now, film noir has a few distinctive looks. It's not just black and white. It's also very high in contrast. So let's add in lots of contrast, and then we'll take the highlights up. I'll bring the shadows down so they're nice and dark. We'll add a little bit of pure white and a little bit of deep black. Now, these numbers aren't an exact science. They're going to vary according to taste, according to your lighting, and whatever style you want to go for. But one thing I am definitely going to do is add some clarity. It adds contrast, and I really like it. So a little bit of clarity looks good. So those are the basic settings, but there's some things that are very specific to each individual picture. Let's have a look at this one. Because in this case, I talked about the snooted light being quite accurate, and I think it's just missed where I want it to be. It's a little bit on his cheek and shoulder. So to give that a helping hand, I'm going to switch over to the adjustment brush. And on the adjustment brush, I'm going to reset everything and add a little bit more exposure by clicking on the plus button next to exposure. I'll add half a stop, no more, and just paint a little bit of exposure on his face. Now, I think it needs a bit more than just exposure. It needs a bit more contrast to make that look good, so we'll add a little bit more contrast in there too. Now, there's a few other areas that could do with a bit of fine tuning. So I'll make another new adjustment brush by clicking the new button. And in this case, I'm going to take the highlights all the way down. So everything else zeroed now, just the highlights. And I'll just darken down those really bright areas that's just catching my eye a little bit like that. I may need to add in a bit of white in there as well, just to take those down a touch. There's also some dark areas like the back of the typewriter that are losing detail. So let's see if we can pull just a hint of that out. I'll make another new brush, and this time I'll add a little bit of exposure. I'll open up the shadows and I'll add a bit of clarity in there because I haven't done any clarity and I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. Well, no, it just looks quite good with a bit of clarity on the shadows. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Really then it's just fine tuning. So let's go one more new brush. I'll take the exposure down a little bit and just darken the edge of that desk, which is just bothering me just a wee bit. And maybe just the edge on the other side as well, just to balance it up a little bit. We'll just darken a few areas in like so. And there it is. There's my final film noir picture completed. Well, that went really well. The end pictures look fantastic and it was a great fun shoot to do. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a comment below. And if you want to see more videos from myself and the other amazing presenters right here in Adorama TV, you know what you got to do? You got to click on that subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.